we're going to talk about this enigmatic pen, the Parker Beta Standard. This was sent to me by someone in India. He said it's called the Parker Standard, and I thought I've never seen this. So that leaves two options in my mind. Either it is a Parker, it is sold only in India, or option B, it's a Parker imitation. Now I did some online checking, and I found this pen. A bunch of stores in India sell it. It comes in a blister card, like some of the other cheaper Parker pens, like the Vector and the Jotter. And it looks to be a fairly genuine Parker product. It has the Parker logo, it has the word Parker, and the font that brand uses. It even seems to have a year code on there. So let's assume it's a genuine product. Now let's look at this from another perspective. Imagine this would be an imitation. Would that awfully matter? If it gives you a nice pen, is it a problem if it's an imitation? I guess Parker wouldn't be very happy about it. But for us as consumers, is it really an issue? Food for thought. Anyway, I'll cover the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Let's start with the cap. On top of the cap, things look slightly odd. There's a weird mix of red and white plastic. It has two minor grooves. I'm not sure how well you can see those, but they're there. Grooves. Groovy. I'm sure they are there so that you don't create a vacuum when you cap the pen, and then when you uncap it, ink flies out, etc. I'm sure that's the idea. It has a metal clip. The metal clip definitely has the Parker arrow on there. Actually, I think that looks fairly stylish. The red and black combination is a little Christmas-like, but I think it's okay. There's this little red ring there, which is not part of the cap, so I'll come back to that. The final things in the cap are the Parker logo and the word Parker. Now, I know this won't focus, and because of the light, I don't think you can actually see that, but, well, maybe a little bit. The word Parker is there, believe me. And on the other side, it says something like I, A. It seems to be one of those odd Parker year codes. Okay, then we have the barrel. This is all plastic. The cap is plastic. The barrel is plastic. At the bottom end, we have a little red end cap thingy, which has the Parker logo in. When you uncap the pen, it's just a slip cap or a snap cap, whatever you like to call that. You see the little lip that keeps the cap in place. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's there. And you have the red section. Pretty simple. A feed and the nib. Now this is something else that really made me believe this is a genuine Parker product. This is the same nib I have seen on the Jotter and on the Vector. I believe they have the same nib. I haven't checked it before doing this video, but I have seen this nib before. And the same goes for the feed. When you look at the back end of the feed, there is a type of shield shape in there with a letter indicating the nib width. And in this case it says F, and that is the exact same F I have seen on, I'm sure I've seen it on the Jotter. And it seems to be crisp, the F, not sort of half decent. It's really put in there nicely. So again, that seems to indicate to me it's a genuine product. Size of the pen, not huge, but definitely not small. It's a decently sized pen, and when you post it, it's definitely big enough for people with larger hands. Very light because of all the plastic. The section is, I'm sure you cannot see that. It seems to be round, but it has facets on it. Maybe when I turn it around, you see some of the light alterations. And some of those facets actually have texture, so it's not just smooth plastic, which actually gives a fairly nice grip. I enjoy that. Unscrew the barrel. You can use this with cartridges or with a converter. The person from India was kind enough to send me a converter, which again, I'm sure this is a genuine Parker product. It's one of those regular Parker push type converters that you have the little push bar. You push that up and down, and then it sucks in ink. It even has the little metal ball bearing in there, so that's a real Parker product. Now I'm not sure, because when I see a completely plastic barrel, the word eyedropper springs to mind. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. Maybe you can convert this to an eyedropper. There's no metal on the pen apart from the nib, so you should be safe. I'm just not sure whether the seal between the red and the black here is completely tight. If it is, you can just pour it full of ink, and you've got a lot of ink in there. Okay, I'll screw that back together. I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if you can remove the nib and the feed. I haven't really tried it. Okay, I'll try it now. Take the converter out. Grab an ink cloth. Yep. A feed. A nib. So that should aid in cleaning, which is very nice. And those are the parts of the pen. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, it's a simple pen. And it's clearly you cannot expect that to give you the same writing performance as a $500 pen. But by no means is it a bad pen. Because of the plastic, it may feel a little cheap. But it performs well, and that's what counts, right? I mean, you want a pen to write smoothly. Even though these nibs Parker uses are very cheap on these lower-end pens, I don't think I've really had any problems with them. And the same thing goes for this one. When I inked it up, I thought this is probably going to be very scratchy. It's fine. It's not very expensive, but I was pleasantly surprised. Does it give you the smoothness of an 18-karat gold nib? Well, what do you think? But it gives you a decent performance, and I think that's most important. I think the best way to demonstrate that is just do a writing sample. That's what I'll do next. I don't think I have anything else to tell you about this pen. So writing is next. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, here we go with the Parker Beta Standard. The nib is fine, and the ink is Ackermann Simplistis Violet, which is a nice Ackermann ink, I think, one of my favorites so far. Okay, the pen. The nib is a little scratchy. It is fairly wet though. You can see there. And it's not unpleasant to use, but it does give some feedback. I may smooth it out a little bit, but I think it's just part of the pen and part of the nib. It's a fine nib. I've seen this with other Parkers. Let's do some fast writing, see how well the feed keeps up. I don't see any skipping, so that's a good sign. We've already done a bit of a wetness test. You can hear, I'm not sure whether my camera picks it up, but you probably hear the sound of the nib. If you compare that to a much smoother nib, not a fair comparison by the way, but still, it doesn't brighten. Now there we go. You hear that sound? Then you hear this sound. You probably hear which one is scratchier. Okay, let's have a look at flexibility. I'm not expecting a whole lot here, but well, that's not too bad, I guess. Hello. Definitely is some line variation to be had. The pen does feel fairly scratchy when you push it to the limits, but it's doable, so that will be an option. So there you have it, writing with the Parker Beta Standard. I think it's an interesting pen. Maybe not the smoothest I've ever used, but it's not the worst I've ever used either. So I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.